press releases, you have the colonel's office, and the press releases a little bit further. You'll see banners, materials, signs.
I see it. Documents and planning materials, graphics,
there you go.
Banners, and handouts.
Yep, tons of them on there.
Great. Now, what do people do if, let's say, they start becoming a leader, or they join the website, and they are visited by the FBI, Homeland Security, and they're taken away? We would encourage the family members and friends to post that immediately.
Yes, absolutely.
Anything like that that's going on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, when that's
do you think
our
we
biggest
also
weapon.
have members of the NSA, CIA, FBI also on board? You think?
I believe that there's a lot more than we can talk about.
At war with itself.
Yeah, we have a lot more than can announce their presence. I had a flight not too long ago, and on that flight I sat down with a guy, and I don't know who he was. He didn't identify himself. We just sat beside each other on a plane. But I had Operation American Spring pulled up on my laptop, and he asked, do I support this? I said, absolutely I do. I'm all over it. And we'd spent the next 45 minutes on that plane talking about Operation American Spring, and he was on board. I didn't need to convince him. He already was. But this guy works in DOD someplace.
This is deep, my brother. This is very deep stuff. We're in new, uncharted territory, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We are. Yet, when you look back at history, Patrick Henry said, I know other way to judge the future than by inspecting the past. And that's exactly where we are. Look back at history, not just in our nation's history, but look at Iceland, look at Egypt, look at the Ukraine, look at what's going on in Venezuela and Argentina right now.
It's a worldwide revolution. The world wants to come together as one. The media is not reporting it for what it really is, and it's a worldwide revolution. We're seeing the same flyers pop up at all these events. People
in different languages. It's the same thing in a different language. Absolutely.
People are wearing the same for Vendetta masks. Okay, we're in a new era. Okay, people, if they want to learn a new language or talk to someone in Russia or Iran, they can just go on Google Translate. We want to come together as one, and we want a new world order. We just don't want it run by the people who have been running things now, who promote evil and destruction. We could reach a whole new era on the earth of wealth and prosperity for every human being on the planet if we didn't have these people running things now. It's terrible what they're doing. It's inhumane. There's war crimes being committed. And that's not what the American people are about. Look what they've done to our image worldwide. America used to be the shining symbol of freedom and hope for everyone in the world, and they've ruined that. And we need to get that back.
Yes, absolutely.
This country practically needs to be invaded right now, like they did in Germany to get Hitler out. We have madmen who have taken control, and they have nuclear weapons and bioweapons, and they're starting to use it on the American public. Okay, they're experimenting with all types of crap on us, and we're sick of it. We're sick of these psychological warfare campaigns. We're sick of it, and we need help. We need help big time.
Well, the first thing that we need to do is to stand up and fight for our own liberties. Do we have allies out there? Very possibly. I hope that the world will back our movement. I know that we've been on Israeli news and we've been on Egyptian news. They're talking about Operation American Spring worldwide now. It's already been mentioned in a couple of British organizations. Is it enough? I don't know. I know that I'm going to go and I'm going to fight. I'm going to stand up and declare my own freedom. And I hope that the American people have the guts to stand up and do the same. I don't want to be invaded. I would rather go invade D.C. myself than wait for somebody else to do it. It's time for us to stand up for our own liberty and our own freedom.
Absolutely. How do you feel that the media, the mainstream media, is going to cover this? Do you think they're going to cover it or not? We all know a lot of the mainstream media is bought by the same people who are...
I think they're just as scared of this as the government is. But at the same time, they're there to make a dollar. And if this will sell, they will sell it. Now the question is, it has to sell. It has to be a story that will gather the attention that they want. So when we have 10 million people in D.C., number one, that's a very hard number to ignore. Can they ignore it? Well, they've ignored large protests in the past and discredited them and made them look smaller than they really were. Glenn Beck had, 1.7 million or something like that was the real number, and they portrayed it as 100,000. Will they tell the true story? Probably not. I think that's our job. I think the biggest weapon we can have is a camera and a microphone showing this for what it really is. We need to be our own media, and we need to be able to go there in D.C. and tell our story using the social media, using Twitter, using Facebook, using YouTube. Now, again, I'm not a real big technical guy, but I know that we can do that. Will they try to shop?
You definitely have my support and the support of my network. I will help you whatever way I can to help get the word out.
Absolutely. We're going to have dozens of internet radio programs out there. I know that the Sons of Liberty Riders are going to be there, and United Saints of America are going to be there, and half a dozen other organizations that are supporting this. Dozens. We're probably pushing hundreds now of small internet radios, 20, 30,000 listeners, smaller networks. They're the ones that are talking about this. And that's the way, in my opinion, that's the way it ought to be. Not these big corporate conglomerates that are telling, I don't want somebody else to do my job. I think that's the problem where we are. We've got the distribution of labor has stretched us so thin that nobody has a voice anymore. And it's going to take guys like you to tell the story for what it really is. Don't let somebody else determine your future. Don't sit back and wait for somebody else to lead and then just fall in line. Step up. Do your duty. I want to thank you, Vince, for stepping up and leading here, both with your radio program and in Operation American Spring and your magazine, everything that you're doing there, waking people up and making them aware of the atrocities that are happening in our nation.
Thank you, and I thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to meet you in D.C., brother.
I'll be there. And thank you for mentioning the magazine, Disaster Survival Magazine. We're on issue number 3, and we did mention Operation American Spring on page 8 on our On the Radar report. It's at the bottom of the page. Operation American Spring. Operation American Spring organizers plan to bring 10 to 20 million people into the nation's capital for a rally to overthrow Obama with the help of militias. They will have a gigantic massive rally on May 16th of this year.
Yep, there we go.
Wow, this is the real deal.
But it takes everybody. It's going to take the church getting involved. It's going to take the Tea Party groups getting involved. It's going to take prepper groups. It's going to take the militia groups. It's going to take every individual patriot to stand up and be prepared to fight for their own freedoms. Not with arms.
Is there anything people can do? Is there anything people can do right now to prepare? Maybe building a bug-out bag. I would suggest that they learn some first aid. They go to their local Red Cross. They can get certified in adult child CPR and first aid. Start training with a local group. Become a team leader.
So what I would recommend is starting small. Start with a small unit. Build a car. I've got my car. I've got it full. I've got enough gear. Now let's train with our gear. Let's know number one, load up your car and make sure you can hold all that gear. If you can't, you probably need to think about your loadout. Have a good 72-hour bag with you. If you had to, you can survive on your own with what's in your pack. Be prepared for that. I don't think it comes to that, but having that gear in D.C. will make your life a lot more comfortable, if nothing else.
And again, we are not promoting violence.
On that same place where you get your promoting stuff, there's a logistical plan on there. It's a Word document, about 13 pages. That will give you everything you need for your team. If you've got a team of 50 all the way down to your individual needs, it's got it all right there. It'll tell you the things to consider and some ways to get a hold of the things that you'll need. How to get those things, those resources from your community. Our churches are behind this. If you can go to them and articulate the plan on what we're going to do, they have a lot of resources that they can share, that they will back you in this movement. So go out there, download that plan, and look at it, study it, make it a reality for you and your team. Obviously, not everybody can do what we've done here in Texas. We have our own little republic, our own little country down here sometimes. So the vast majority of Texans can look back at this and support it. Those of us in the more infiltrated states, like say, for example, New York or California, that support's a little harder to find sometimes. But it's out there. So begin building your plan, building your prep. Consider this a training mission to really focus on it and learn how to use the gear to build up your preps and get ready.
Absolutely. Once again, we have Chris Blystone of Operation American Spring, Texas. They can email you if they have any questions?
Absolutely. It's chrisblystone@gmail.com.
Okay, and they can also email me too at disastersurvivalmagazine@gmail.com. We will be posting updates in the upcoming weeks on our social media, our website, and we'd like to have you on again for updates. Maybe every other week we can do a quick update. How does that sound?
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, it sounds good. Again, I hope this movement isn't hijacked. I feel like this is our last chance to save the Republic and restore the freedoms that we once had.
Yeah. It's going to take some due diligence on our part to make sure that doesn't happen. Believe me, they want to try. They want to subvert this, absolutely. And we're just going to have to fight and make sure that it doesn't happen. And we just got to outnumber them. That's the question. We've just got to outnumber them. One infiltrator in 1,000 isn't going to do a whole bunch of damage if we control it right. So we've got to go out there and fight and be diligent and really hold each other accountable and watch.
Now, what factors influenced Operation American Spring as well as priority aspects?
I guess I don't understand the question. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, like what are some of the main reasons you feel that we have to do this?
I personally don't think that we're going to get this done in an election. I don't think we're going to get this done in a court. I think our election systems are rigged.
Well, I don't think our vote matters anymore. I think that they're rigging all the elections. The only election that I think you can have an influence on is a local election. The big ones are rigged.
Well, in the local elections, I don't know that we have the time. These guys have upped the ante on us. The federal government is running haywire. They're doing whatever the heck they want. And even down to the local level, they're so bought and sold already. Even at the local level, that poor local constitutional legislature at my state legislature level, that poor guy, he's got his hands tied. He's already lost his sovereignty. He doesn't have his sovereignty anymore. It's already been bought and sold 5 years ago. So how can he fight? I don't think he can. Can we make this battle in a court?